As a part of my field research, I went to a Buddhist monastery and temple nearby called Wat Yarna. I've passed by this monastery a couple of times before, but I never thought much about it. However, the line at the entrance was always my favorite thing to watch out for whenever I passed by it. As you can see in the picture, it's pretty vibrant in color and is a definite eye-catcher. When I drove in, I saw this little cottage on the left-hand side. Because of the construction, the big trucks hid the real place of worship, which will be shown later. I didn't know then, so I ended up walking to the cottage. As I got out of my car, I noticed how clean everything was. There wasn't a single piece of trash, even with the construction going on. As I was walking up the door, I felt at peace. There was a quiet sense, even with the machines going on in the background. There's a calm about the place that I've only experienced when I meditate or pray. Moving on, I opened the screen door and I saw a sign on it stating the times of meditation. I politely knocked on the door, but no one answered. I'd remembered my conversation with one of the members of the temple, and he had stated that I could go inside and browse if I wanted. I took off my shoes and walked inside. It was indeed a house. There was a statue on the right-hand side. It was a miniature version of the one that I saw in my research prior to my visit. I didn't want to cross my bounds, but I noticed a kitchen in the back. I also noticed a poster that I'm assuming was showing ways to meditate. It was all in Thai, so I couldn't really understand. I used the pictures to decipher what I thought that the pictures meant. Just as I was about to leave, I received a phone call from the monk that was supposed to meet me. He asked me to come over to the other building. As I walked over to the temple, I was amazed at how beautiful the building was. It was so colorful, and there were so many designs on the buildings. It looked like someone had painted a picture. It was very colorful. It seems that orange is a universal color. The monk that came to greet me was wearing a light orange sweater, and he wore a dull orange cloth around himself. The way that he wrapped it resembled how a South Asian woman would wear a sari. After walking a little closer, I noticed how small it was. The entrance door must have been 6 feet as a maximum, or maybe even a little bit smaller. As I walked toward the door, I politely took my shoes off yet again, even though I wasn't asked to. As soon as I entered the temple, I could smell incense. From the ones that I've smelled in the past, this was the most subtle and sweet-smelling one. It was not at all empowering to my nose. Usually, when we use incense at home, it almost gives the sense of suffocation because of the strong smell. However, this was not the case. It smelled like I had stuffed my face into a bouquet of freshly picked flowers. Shortly after walking in, I noticed two things. One was how low the ceilings were. Since I'm short, I felt at home, but if someone was taller than 5'7", I'm pretty sure they would have been uncomfortable. The other thing that I noticed was that it was quiet. There was no noise coming from anywhere. When I asked the monk, Odom, that was his name, if anyone else was inside the temple, he said that there was a whole class going on not 4 feet from where we were sitting. That was amazing. I was pretty impressed when we then sat down and I started asking him my questions. Something funny that I noticed was that as soon as he sat down on the chair, he put his feet up and he sat cross-legged. I was too shy to ask him why he did that, but I think that he might be more comfortable with that way because of meditation. Some of the questions that I asked him were how many Buddhist temples were there in the area. Apparently there are 4 temples that are close to Wat Yarna, but that's the more apparent one, where there's a big crowd. When asked about youth attendance, he told me that there are about 12 dedicated youth that were training to become monks. Classes for young children are on Saturdays and Sundays. He also asked if I would be interested in coming to one of their most prestigious holidays. It's celebrated because that was when Buddha was born. Celebrations like these are usually held in the conference hall, which is in between the cottage and the temple. It's pretty big. It looks like a enlarged cafeteria, but that's only used for celebrations and initiation of monkhood, etc. Right as I was about to leave, two young Thai ladies made their way into the temple. Right as they came in, Autumn walked over to the blue rug-type things and sat by the statue. One of the ladies came in and lit two of the candles in front of the big statue. He later told me that she did that out of respect for Buddha. Then she took out a book and started saying prayers from that book. The next video is half of the prayer that she did. It is about 15 minutes long, but I managed to record a snippet of the prayer. The prayer was for a loved one that had died, and she had brought food in behalf of the person. I couldn't get more detail on it since the monk was really busy. Here's the video.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. 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 Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. ปกติเขาไม่ลองไงถ้าไม่จับวิสัยเขาจะไม่ลองแน่ทั้งวันหัวเราะทั้งวันใส่ง่วงนอนแล้วนอนไม่เต็มง่วงนอนแล้วปวดท้องปวดท้องปกติไม่เคยร้องเลยเราไปเดินช้อปปิ้งเจอใครก็ให้ไม่สบายตัวเดี๋ยวก็หายเนาะหิวเท้าวิวหาตุลาภุตุเรติสาคารังเอวามิไวตุรินังเกสานังกัจจปติอิชิตังปะทิตังปุมหายทิพเมวะสมิชตุสัพเพปุเรนตุสังฆปาจันโทปนรสโสยะถา
The people were nice enough to let me record and take pictures. It was a real treat to be a part of the prayer. Autumn was pretty busy, so I had to quickly say my goodbyes. This is probably one of the most fun field researches that I've done so far. I might just go to their events, just to experience what it would be like. They are very willing and inviting, and I'm sure they would be more than happy to let anyone come. Like they say, all are welcome.